Here we just take a look at the results as the first round of playoffs has concluded, and Anaheim moving on to play the Los Angeles Kings, Minnesota Wild moving on to play the St. Louis Blues, and in the East, Pittsburgh Penguins moving on to play the New York Rangers, and the Detroit Red Wings moving on to play the Montreal Canadiens.
The real dinner.
And we are here with Game 1 between the Detroit Red Wings and the Montreal Canadiens. And Zetterberg back in the lineup for the Wings. And we are set to begin this game. So we start Game 1. Weiss, early goal to put up the Canadiens up 1-0. Another goal, Plekanec on the power play. 2-0 lead here. Power play for Detroit, they do not get a goal on it. And to close this first period, 2-0 lead, Montreal. Here in the second, no one able to score yet, and Montreal still holding on to that 2-goal lead. Detroit applying some pressure though, third period here. So Montreal just looking to hang on, get the game won, and Daniel Briere scoring to make it 3-0, and that should put this game away. But not yet. Gustav Nyquist here scoring, but that will do it. Montreal winning Game 1, 3-1. And our stars this game, Carey Price with the first star, Thomas Plekanec with the second, and Daniel Briere with the third. Here we are. Montreal Canadiens and Detroit Red Wings, Round 2, Game 2. And we are set to begin. As we get this period started off, Detroit by Thomas Plekanec scoring on the Montreal's first shot of the game, and they take an early 1-0 lead. Here late in the first, Thomas Vanek scoring, making it 2-0. Going into the second, Todd Bertuzzi right off the bat, and another goal, Gustav Nyquist tying it up, and right away in the second, Detroit coming out, and Pavel Datsyuk scoring to take the lead. Halfway through the second, Detroit's taking the lead. Montreal can't score. And Alfredsson giving the Detroit Red Wings a 4-2 lead. 5-2 as Johan Franzen scoring right off the bat in the face-up in the third. And halfway, and there's another one, David Legwand. And Detroit is just laying it on the Canadiens. And this will end 6-2 victory for the Red Wings, as they were down 2 but scored 6 unanswered, and they go on to win. And we check out the 3 stars, number 1 Datsyuk, number 2 Alfredsson, and number 3 Nyquist. And we are here with Game 3 action with the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Here series is tied at 1 as we begin the game. And as we begin this game in Detroit, power play, another power play for them, but they are not, and they get one, Pavel Datsyuk towards the end of the power play, and Detroit have a 1-0 lead here late in the first. Going into the second, 1-0 Detroit. This Montreal getting a lot of shots, but no results, and Nyquist scoring to get a 2-goal lead for the Red Wings. They are up 2-0 going into the third period. And there it is, Plekanec cutting the lead in half. Montreal is only down 1. Power play for Detroit. Nothing going. 5 minutes left in this game, and Montreal tying it up. And this goes into overtime, and Galchenyuk with the winner right off the bat. And the Montreal Canadiens win on 2 quick goals, one to end the third and one at the beginning of overtime. And they take a 2-1 lead in the series, as we see Andrei Markov with the first star, Pavel Datsyuk with the second, and Price with the third. We are here, the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Montreal Canadiens, as they are down 2-1 in the series, starting up Game 4. As we begin, pretty even so far. And Detroit with a power play, but no goals. And to end the first, we have a scoreless game and a Detroit with some power plays, but no goals to show for it. Halfway through the game, no goals, as it's an even game, but two goaltenders playing real well. Here in the third, another power play, and still no goals, but Pacioretty breaking the scoreless tie. Another goal, White, and the Canadiens have a 2-goal lead. 2-1 as Lashoff cuts the lead to 1. Fierro ties it up here, and 5 minutes to go in the game, and we are tied in OT. Detroit with a power play, another power play, and they score. David Legwand getting the power play goal to win the game. And we take a look at our 3 stars. Jimmy Howard with the first star, Legwand with the second, and Brian Lashoff with the third. And we are back with Game 5. Montreal and Detroit tied up at 2 apiece. This game to see who pulls ahead in this series. And Daniel Alfredson with the goal 5 minutes in. Power play for Montreal, but they can't get a goal. Another one, no goal still. And here's the second period, first period closes out. Detroit with a power play. And starting up the second, White with the goal to tie it up. A power play, and Tatar getting the go-ahead goal just after their power play ended. And another goal, Drew Miller making it 3-1 for the Red Wings. And going into the third, the Wings with a 2-goal lead. And halfway through, still no goals as the Red Wings looking to close out and take a 3-2 lead in the series, and they will as they win 3-1. And the stars, Thomas Tatar with the first star, Drew Miller with the second, and Jimmy Howard with the third. And we are here with the Canadiens and the Red Wings as Detroit at home looking to close this series out in 6. As they are up 3-2 in the series. Power play for Montreal, and Andrei Markov getting the opening goal on the power play. And with the first period closing out, the Canadiens with a 1-goal lead here. Detroit getting a lot of shots here, but nothing, and a power play, and Alfredson tying it up halfway through the second. And as we continue, Ryan White with the goal just before the end of the second, and going into the third, Montreal has a 2-1 lead. Power play for Montreal, and a goal is Ryan White with his second, and that gives the Canadiens the insurance marker they need. And as this game winds down, Legwand with the goal. Can they tie it up? 15 seconds? No, they can't. And the Canadiens with a 3-2 victory. And this will force this series to a Game 7. We'll take a quick look and see the stars. And Ryan White with the first star, Carey Price with the second, and Jared Tenorti with the third. And we are here with Game 7 action. The Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings. Winner goes on to the conference final, and the loser gets to go home and start their golf season. As we begin, halfway through the first, no goal, and Bertuzzi scoring, and the Detroit Red Wings take a 1-goal lead. Here in the second period, 1-0 Detroit, and a power play Detroit. They can't get a goal. And halfway through this game, and Markov tying it up late, starting to get late in the second, and going into the third, we have a tie game. 2-1 now as Lars Eller gets the go-ahead goal. And with a power play Montreal, they can't get anything. 5 minutes left. Can the Red Wings get the tying goal? Send this to OT? No, they can't. And the Montreal Canadiens have moved on as they defeat the Detroit Red Wings in 7 games. We take a look at the 3 stars. Carey Price with the first star, Andrei Markov with the second, and Lars Eller with the third star. And
Okay, you have to get out of here.
No, I'm done, I swear.